Hey everyone, it's Cubastic. I have a pretty huge channel dedicated to puzzles. And I have probably already solved hundreds if not thousands of puzzles on this channel and showed them to you. But in my collection there's a separate puzzle box that contains puzzles that are too simple to show you. Because they seem boring to me, but at the same time they are difficult enough to try to solve them and do it quickly. You see, I was solving the largest Rubik's Cube, the most difficult puzzles printed with a 3D printer, but these ones, I don't think that each of them is worthy of a separate video, but something has to be done with this box of puzzles, so this is my new rubric called Top 3 Puzzles that I don't know how to solve. And I really don't know how to solve them. The trick of this section is that I absolutely calmly, without a special purpose, will chill and solve these puzzles, will show them to you, and at the same time we will study them and try to solve them. I will naturally use a timer, and I already start the stopwatch and I already have the first puzzle in my hands. I know nothing about these puzzles and I don't even know their names. But I really like the way it looks. Picture. This is either the name of the author or the name of this cube. And Mofenge is a manufacturer. Listen, well, let's try to turn it and study this puzzle. The corners are rotating here, of course, right? Here I am turning the orange, white, blue corner, everything is working together with these central thingies. If I turn this one, 2, right? Yeah, there are centers around every corner. How many of them do we have in total? 1, 2, 3, 4 corners that we can work with. Few elements in total. This suggests that the puzzle should be really easy. But it's not yet clear how to solve it. Let's figure it out together. I'll scramble it now. And as you understand, its main feature is that here, with any corner, with any rotation of the corner, the central face also turns. And this is what the puzzle looks like scrambled. Look, if I want to solve the yellow side now, then I will need to solve it on this side. I'll turn yellow here, and I already see that yellow coincides with its center and I can use it. Yellow is done, so far there was nothing difficult in this. And here is where the problems begin. We need to somehow put a green center here with this green stuff. By the way, no, it's quite simple. Look, I'll move the green center over here to the green thing. I'll move this green side over here. We will have 2 solved elements. And this is where you have the thing. Somehow we need to get this red element right here. Let's try to do it like this. Okay, and here is a rather funny situation. I don't know how to do that. Obviously, the nearest parts will have to be involved. Somehow, well, it looks pretty cool. Awesome. What do algorithms do? 1. Okay, 1 algorithm swaps 2 centers. Or 3. Here we have seen the algorithm. Stop, 2 minutes 56 seconds. The puzzle which I didn't know how to solve before was solved in a fairly short time. This is the trick of this section. In fact, there can be both really easy puzzles and something unbelievably difficult. By the way, I have a suspicion that the next puzzles that I have prepared for you are actually difficult. Folks, go by the link in the description to thecubicle.com. There you will find an insane variety of puzzles that you don't know how to solve, and that's the thing. The Cubicle provides innovative technologies in speedcubing, best service and fast delivery all over the globe. There you will find puzzles and Rubik's Cubes for any taste and budget. There are many different categories of goods at the Cubicle store. New puzzles appear on the website every day, so this is the perfect store for every puzzle lover. Check the link in the description and use my promo code Cubastic and we will try to solve other puzzles. This already looks cool and more complicated. I solved something similar. This is a pyramid and I assume in which this part is turning. Yes, haha, cool! Look, this is pretty unusual. I already had several similar puzzles of the cubic type, this is the first time such a pyramids. Okay, let's press start, we will figure everything out, we will already solve it at random, because we have such a light rubric. Let's first understand what algorithm will do here. Okay, it changes the edges. Do algorithms from the usual pyramids work here? Absolutely yes. They absolutely work, but only with edges. Here the corners go together with the edges, but if we directly need to change it, well, these are the movements. Let's try to scramble and we will understand how it works further in this puzzle. We will immediately turn these parts along the way, let's see what they consist of. I like it, I like this section. It's something new for me, I hope you like it too, despite the fact that it is so light. Write in the comments if you have such puzzles that you don't know how to solve. Most oftenly this is something complex, but as we have already seen in the previous example, there may be something really simple. Okay. Well, listen. It's hard. Let's try to flip the edge in some way. Oh, we can do without turning it over. For example, I want to solve a yellow circle. This yellow piece here will be right here when we turn. Next. Whoa, this is cool. The yellow one is already solved, see? It just happened fast. But the problem is that here yellow doesn't correspond to this edge, because it is red-green, which means that red should be here initially. So it only tells me that initially I should combine not the circles, but correct edges. For example, make this edge in blue-red and make it totally blue-red. Here. Now it will work. At the same time, it is desirable to make the nearest side coincide with the corner. So here it is desirable that this element is blue. To do this, we will remove the edge, put the blue here and put the blue-red back in place. Everything works. We also accidentally solved a complete red-green edge along the way. We're moving on. In general, in just 6 minutes I only realized that it was necessary to start not with the edge, but with such, here you see triple petals, so we go from the corners and solve red triangular on each side. Here is green, yellow and blue, and only then we will solve the edges. It turned out to be quite easy to do this, because no matter how we turn, only in this position, no matter how we turn, no matter how we rearrange these large sectors to the places we need, here this cross on each side doesn't change because it is symmetrical. Here, of course, you need to find a yellow corner. The yellow one can simply be moved from here. Here it is. And it turns out that we don't break crosses on each side and quietly solve all the edges. Cool! Now we have the first layer ready, this is a fully solved red color, and now it remains only to catch up with these edges. It remains to understand how to do this. And in principle it will be quite simple. The difficulty here is that again we should not make mistakes. Here, for example, I can easily turn like this, and the edge will already be complete. Here I can easily turn like this, and the edge will be ready. Oh, all the edges are solved further automatically, see? Except, well, the last one. The last thing remains, but for this I will first put everything on its place. It remains to literally swap a couple of elements, and this should in principle turn out quite simple. Now we need to understand how. Probably I don't understand. Oh, it was much easier. Yes, stop, 12 minutes for solving this puzzle. It was much more difficult than this one, but nevertheless it was still too easy for a separate video. And in one of the following separate videos, I will show you an unboxing of the most modern Rubik's Cube up to date. So subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications and don't miss out. There remains the last puzzle, which to be honest I don't even know how to scramble. Guys, it looks like some kind of shell. It's like a hermit crab is about to came out of here and crawl away like that. It's not at all clear how to turn it. I see 3 layers here. And that's all. Otherwise it is clearly divided into sectors, but the sectors, as I understand it, are not symmetrical. Is this how it turns? For some reason, no. This is how it can be. Well, so it turns like this, but this way it turns only in this direction, and that's it. So I can't turn absolutely anything. I'll press start, so be it, we will deal with this puzzle. But then again, if we don't figure it out, there's nothing terrible, because I don't know how to solve these puzzles. I only see... Aha, that's interesting. In general, as I understand it, there's a small hole like that. And I can clearly see the direction of movement of the elements only in this plane, so I cannot make it this way. But as soon as I turn everything except the middle one in any direction, the middle face is the guide. So if we don't touch the middle face and turn everything else, we align everything, then it will be scrambled like this. To be honest, I'm afraid to scramble it a lot, because I know for sure that I may not solve it, but nevertheless I will try to do it. I think it's already pretty scrambled actually. Here literally 3 movements are enough to bring chaos with this puzzle. So, well, I think that's enough. So, the only thing I understand is that we have chaos here. This is what I understand. Let's start with the largest red element, which is clearly visible here. It is solved, then you will need to solve the orange one. In fact, it can be done in the same way. What if we go like this? It's also upside down, yes, so I still need to turn it. Yeah, look! So we solve either red or orange, and then we will figure out what's what. I got it. I got you. This is probably the most difficult puzzle out of all today, which I don't know how to solve. In such situations, it helps to solve these puzzles directly from the experience that you have with solving different puzzles that were before, and I had a lot of them, so in any case I can solve this puzzle, it's only a matter of time. Is this how it will turn? Okay, is this how it will fit? Right, and like this? Nope, so we have to turn it somehow. Look, I managed to flip, synchronize the red and orange, because look, I have the orange going into the right shape, and if you make such a movement, the red also starts solving. Now it remains to solve it all somehow together or something. I have a strong feeling that red and orange should be together. I didn't really notice it, but that's how it feels. One, two, Whoa, look, it works. Well, let it be. In general, I really didn't want to solve it. Guys, like this lazy content. If you are lazy too, write about it in the comments. And if there are puzzles that you don't know how to solve, be sure to try it. I think you will be able to do it quickly enough. Thank you all so much for watching, sorry for such a lazy video. Well, Cubastic was with you, all for now, and good mood to everyone, buy only high quality puzzles and be sure to solve them.